Here are the 6 AI trends that will matter most for project managers in 2026. And I want to be clear right up front. This isn't another video hyping up a new chatbot or telling you that AGI is coming next week. This list is based on deep dive reports from Forrester, Gartner, and PMI, and the brand new announcements we just saw from CES 2026 from giants like Samsung. These are analysts and companies with billions of dollars on the line, who are much more knowledgeable than I am or you are. Don't blame me if they get it wrong, but looking at the data, I don't think they are. For each trend, I'll start with a big picture shift, then give you the exact tactical plays so you're not just informed, you're ahead of the curve. Because here's the truth. By 2030, AI will automate 80% of traditional PM tasks. The question isn't whether your role will change, it's whether you'll be the one driving that change or getting replaced by it. Let's get into it. If 2024 was the year everyone panicked about AI and started throwing money at it, 2026 is the year the CFO walks in and says, "Show me the numbers." Forrester is calling this the shift from hype to hard hat work, and the data backs it up. Only 15% of AI decision makers reported an actual financial lift in the last 12 months. That's brutal. Even worse, less than 1/3 could tie AI's value directly to profit and loss. So what's happening here? Enterprises are delaying 25% of their planned AI spend into 2027 because they're just not seeing the ROI. The era of let's just experiment with AI is dead. CEOs are pulling CFOs into AI decisions to enforce what they're calling a function over flare mandate. As a project manager, you can no longer pitch an AI tool because it's cool or cutting edge. You need to speak the language in financial ops, financial operations. That means understanding cost per token, cost per agent, action, projected savings in human hours, and the unit economics of your AI tools. Let me give you a real example. Let's say you want to implement an AI assistant on your team. You can't just say, "This will save us time." You need to say, "This tool costs $30 per user per month. It will eliminate 8 hours of administrative work per person monthly. At a fully loaded cost of $50 an hour, that's $400 in savings per year. We break even in 1 month and save $370 per month per user after that." Your action item for this trend is to build an ROI model for every AI tool you're currently using or planning to adopt. Create a simple spreadsheet with 3 columns: monthly cost of the AI tool, hours saved per team member, and dollar value of time saved, using fully loaded cost, not just salary. If you can't prove positive ROI within 90 days, kill the tool. Budget scrutiny is only getting tighter, and PMs who can't justify their AI spend with hard numbers will have to face the consequences. Quick pause before we get into the second trend. Every week I break down how AI is actually changing project management, what tools PMs should adopt and what roles are disappearing, along with what skills will matter in 2026. If you don't want to be caught off guard, the newsletter link is in the description. The biggest shift happening in 2026 isn't better AI models. It's the move from passive AI to autonomous AI agents. And there's a critical difference here that most people miss. A chatbot waits for you to ask it a question. An AI agent takes action on its own. Gartner predicts that by the end of 2026, 40% of enterprise applications will have embedded AI agents. That's up from less than 5% in 2025. This is a massive surge. Here's what that looks like in practice. Imagine you're managing a software project. A traditional AI tool might help you write a status update. An AI agent, on the other hand, monitors your team's Slack commits. Notices a critical task is falling behind, reaches out to the developer via Slack asking for an update, adjusts your project timeline based on their response, and then post a summary in your team channel, all without you touching anything. This is the shift from chat interfaces to work interfaces. The AI isn't just answering questions, it's doing the job. But here's where it really gets interesting. 2026 isn't about a single AI agent. It's about teams of specialized agents working together. Gartner saw a 1,445% increase in inquiries about multi-agent systems between early 2024 in mid-2025. Think of it like this. Instead of one general AI assistant, you now have a swarm of specialists, a researcher agent that scans your internal docs, market reports, and competitor data to define requirements, a scheduler agent that negotiates time across calendars, understanding time zones, holidays, and workload capacity, a risk agent that continually monitors for failure patterns, things like a vendor's email response time slowing down or a subtle uptick in bug reopen rates, a builder agent that executes technical work, whether that's writing code, creating reports, or formatting presentations. Your job as the PM, you're now the orchestrator, the puppeteer of this digital team. But here's the thing no one's talking about. These agents don't always agree. Let's say your scheduler agent wants to accelerate the timeline to hit a milestone, but your risk agent flags a high probability of team burnout if you push that too hard. Who wins? You do. The human project manager becomes the tiebreaker, the one who resolves conflicts between competing algorithmic goals. This is the essence of the 2026 PM role. Here's what you need to do this month. Identify one repetitive workflow in your project and test an agentic tool. I recommend starting with something low risk but time consuming. For example, use Lindy to create a meeting prep agent that automatically pulls relevant docs, summarizes action items from previous meetings, and drafts an agenda. Or maybe use Gumloop to build a workflow that monitors your project dashboard, identifies overdue tasks, and sends personalized Slack reminders. The goal isn't perfection. It's to get comfortable with the idea that AI can act, not just respond. Because by 2027, if you're still manually doing these tasks, you're just going to be seen as inefficient. Let me be blunt. If your primary value as a project manager is passing information between teams, your job is going away. The PM role is undergoing what I call the Harvard tension. Two positive values in different conflict. On one side, you have the efficiency of autonomy. Let the agents run fast, execute at machine speed, break things if needed. On the other side, you have the necessity of human judgment, the need to verify, understand, and approve actions to prevent catastrophic errors. The project managers who survive and thrive in 2026 are the ones who shift from being process drivers to decision integrators. A process driver is someone who pushes tasks forward, updates status fields, and chases people for updates. That's all getting automated. A decision integrator is someone who connects strategy, financial impact, and human constraints when the data is noisy or conflicting. Here's an example. An AI can tell you there's a 30% chance your project will be delayed, but it can't tell you whether you should push the team member harder and risk burnout, ask the stakeholder for an extension and potentially damage their relationship, or cut a feature to hit the deadline and disappoint users. That's judgment. That's politics. That's emotional intelligence. And that's what you bring to the table that AI doesn't. You're no longer just managing humans. You're managing a hybrid team of humans and AI agents. And that requires an entirely different leadership style. You need to learn how to delegate to AI, which tasks are suitable for full automation versus supervised autonomy. This is where the concept of bounded autonomy comes in. You give the AI strict operational limits, a sandbox in which it can play. For example, you can approve vendor invoices up to $500, but anything above that needs my sign-off. You can update task assignments, but you can't delete tasks. You can draft emails to clients, but you can't send them without my review. Here's something most people aren't talking about. As AI takes over cognitive heavy lifting, there's a growing concern about skill degradation. Some people are calling it digital dementia. If AI always writes your project plan, do your junior PMs ever learn how to plan? Probably not, and that's a problem. As a senior PM, you have a new responsibility, actively managing your team's engagement with AI to ensure critical skills stay sharp. That means intentionally rotating complex manual tasks that could be automated, but should be done by humans for training purposes. Map your current role and categorize every task into 3 buckets. Complete automation, which would be routine, low-risk tasks like meeting scheduling, status updates, data entry. Automate these immediately. Supervised autonomy, moderate risk decisions like initial bug triage, drafting standard emails. Let AI handle these, but require a human review before they go live. And human-led, high-stakes scenarios like budget approval, conflict resolution, strategic pivots. These stay with you. Once you've mapped this out, you'll see precisely where your value lies. Double down on the human-led work because that's your competitive mode. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe and hit like. It helps more project managers like you find this content. If you thought the project management tool landscape was crowded before, 2026 is absolute chaos. The dream of one all-in-one tool that does everything is dead. Instead, Forrester predicts that most enterprises will have to compose what they call agent lakes, custom architectures that combine agents from different vendors. You might have foundation models from OpenAI or Google for general reasoning, a specialized legal review agent for a niche vendor, a construction safety agent from another provider, an orchestration layer like Zapier or Gumloop that stitches them all together. This fragmentation creates a massive burden, ensuring these disjointed systems actually work together without breaking. The market is split between legacy tools trying to bolt on AI and AI native startups reimagining project management from scratch. On the legacy side, you've got Asana with smart goals that automatically connect daily tasks to strategic objectives. ClickUp with ClickUp Brain, which they call a neural network that searches across all your docs, tasks, and chats to answer questions. And Monday.com with AI blocks that let you drag and drop AI components to build custom workflows. On the AI native side, Height is imagining itself as autonomous project management. Their AI doesn't just track bugs, it triages them, assigns them, and updates documentation without you doing anything. Lindy lets you build digital employees. You can literally spawn an agent to handle support tickets. Here's the crazy part. So if you get a spike in support volume, the Lindy agent can clone itself to handle the load. For these tools to actually work together, the industry has developed new protocols. Basically, the plumbing that lets agents talk to each other. The two big ones for 2026 are Model Context Protocol, or MCP. Developed by Anthropic, the agent pulls data from sources such as Salesforce and QuickBooks without requiring custom integrations. Agent-to-Agent Protocol, or A2A. This is championed by Google. This lets agents from different vendors communicate. So a legal review agent from one company can talk to a procurement agent from another to negotiate a contract. Understanding these protocols is as fundamental for 2026 PMs as understanding Gantt charts was in the past. Audit your current tool stack. List every tool you're using and ask, does this tool have true agentic capabilities, or is it just a chatbot with a fancy name? Can this tool integrate with other tools via MCP or A2A? Am I paying for overlapping features across multiple tools? Then consolidate. The goal isn't to have the most tools. It's to have the right tools that actually talk to each other. If you're starting fresh, I recommend building your stack like this. For your hub, pick one core platform, Monday, ClickUp, or Asana, as your system of record. Then for your specialist, add 2 to 3 specialized agents for your unique need, like a legal agent, a code review agent. For orchestration, use a tool like Gumloop or Zapier to connect them. Keep it simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Before the last trend, I'm curious. What does your real PM tool stack look like? Project planning, tracking, docs, communication, AI tools. Drop everything you're using daily in the comments. I'm looking to see what tool stack you guys use. With agents now able to execute transactions, modify code, and send emails on your behalf, security and governance has become mission critical. The concept that's become standard in 2026 is bounded autonomy. That means you define strict operational sandboxes for your agents. A huge risk in 2026 is shadow AI, employees deploying unauthorized agents without IT vetting. Imagine a developer on your team signs up for a coding agent to speed up their work. Sounds great, right? Except the agent uploads your proprietary code to a public server for training. You just leaked your IP. As a PM, you need to know what tools your team is using, and that means conducting regular tool audits and creating an approved vendor list. Every artifact in 2026, project plans, status reports, and code commits, need to have a verifiable lineage. You need to know who created it, a human or an agent, and what data was used. When a project fails, the postmortem now involves auditing the agent logs. Why did the risk agent fail to predict a delay? Was it a data error, a model hallucination, a configuration mistake? Digital provenance tools let you trace the decision back to its source. This is essential for liability and quality control. So set up your governance rails this week. Create an AI policy document that defines what your agents are allowed to do and what they're not. Make it specific. For example, Never send external emails without approval, or never delete production data, or never approve spending over X amount of dollars. Deploy a governance layer. If you're using an agent like Lindy or Gumloop, configure alerts for unusual behavior, set spending limits, and then require human approval for high-risk decisions. And run a shadow AI audit. Ask your team, what AI tools are you using that IT doesn't know about? You'll be shocked at the answers. Bring those tools into the light, vet them, and either approve them or find secure alternatives. Governance isn't bureaucracy, it's insurance. And in 2026, one rogue agent can cost you millions of dollars. Well, the fear of replacement is real, but it's also misplaced. The AI won't replace you. The project manager who knows how to use AI will. So here's my challenge. Stop waiting for the perfect plan to learn AI. Just start. Pick one trend from this video and take action this week. Build an ROI model, test an AI agent, audit your tools, set up governance rails, attempt an impossible task. By 2030, 80% of PM tasks will be automated. The question isn't whether your role will change. It's whether you'll be the one driving that change. If you found this valuable, check out my next video. I'll see you at the next one.